What's up, besties? It's your girl Morgan here, and you're listening to Your Internet Best Friend. What is up, besties? You are listening to Your Internet Best Friend with yours truly. Hopefully you recognize this face and this voice by now. I am so excited for this episode. I'm just going to dig into it because I've got a special guest here. So I'm going to try my hardest to give her an intro that she truly deserves. So today in my living room right now, we are joined by a two-time MTV Challenge champion. She's an OG reality star. Seriously, she started at the age of 13. She's one of the most genuinely friendly humans I've met in Nashville. She's a dear friend, the one, the only, 500K Jonna. Yay! Oh my God, thank you for joining me.
I was so excited about today. I told you. Today I'm kid-free, and there's nothing I could think of that would be better to finally come to your new place, by the way.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh my God.
And to come and just hang out with you.
Yeah, we're going to have some girl talk.
And this is really cool.
We're in a studio. It's also my lovely living room. You know, we do everything from right here. But, okay, so it's Friday. Okay. I'm excited. You're kid-free.
Yep.
So every Friday I do something and I talk about, or like in my head when I wake up, I'm like, okay, what's my high of the week and what's my low of the week?
Okay.
So what was your high and low of this week?
High of the week for me is that it is summertime.
Okay.
It's the beginning of summer, and so I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. Nolly's almost 7, Cal's almost 3. But summertime for me is like a holiday, and it's like the best. I get to hang out with them, and you know, I kind of walk away from the whole like reality TV world, mom world, all of that, just to hang out and be present with my kids. So the high of my week this week is, you know, hanging out with Nolly.
Okay.
And Cal. She's feisty, that one. So what
was the low?
Well, let's see. The low for me this week probably is my poor husband, Kevin. He's the love of my life, but
we love you, Kevin. I haven't met you yet, but I think
yes,
I would adore you.
So mentally just figuring everything out, like the transition from, you know, reality TV, badass, all this stuff, working to just being a mom. Kevin, my husband, he just has to deal with me the whole time. Of being
so that's
like,
the low. My husband has to deal with me.
And so, you know, yeah.
Okay.
It's not a low.
That's not a bad low.
It's just maybe I might have had a meltdown or two. And luckily he's, you know, there for me.
I feel that. I had a full meltdown. I'm going to Bali for 17 days. And I do feel wildly unprepared. All I know is I finally can report back that I had
17 days?
Dude, I know. What the hell? 17 days.
Are you excited for it?
I'm so excited. But everyone I tell I'm going to Bali, they're like, oh my God, how long are you staying? A week? I'm like, 17 days. They're like, why? But the flight is 24 freaking hours, dude.
Listen, you can't even like readjust and come back to, you know, yourself. The last show that I did was the first time that I really experienced jet lag. I can't even imagine going to like Asia or like that side of the world. 24 hours of travel, please.
18 hours. So I go LA to Singapore. Can you sleep on planes?
Yes.
Really?
You can't. Ooh, I fall asleep right away.
Don't talk to me. I will take a Xanax. I'll take a Z-Quil. I will combine as many drugs as I can fit in my little body, and nothing will knock me out.
Oh, no.
It's miserable.
So me, as soon as I get on a plane and it starts going,
you fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Oh my God, I actually hate you. I actually hate you.
She means love.
I actually do adore you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to dig in because I posted on the gram that I'm having you on. I got so many questions. I honestly was overwhelmed, so I made a list. So before we get into like the fun, I've got like a little segment of sorts I want to do because I want your opinion on all the things. I'm going to ask just some MTV questions because that is kind of how we met for those who don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just saying my husband, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do this podcast with Morgan. And I was like, yeah, it's not really going to be too much about the show. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, love the show. You guys aren't going to talk about the show. Like, what are you going to talk about? So.
We definitely are. Because at first I was like, oh man, I want you on here and I just want to shoot the shit and let's have girl talk. But I knew if I did not ask you these questions, I would have MTV fans at my doorstep with pitchforks wanting to kill me.
Because you're so amazing at social media. Matter of fact, like you're my like, you know, inspiration. I'm like, I just want to be like an influencer like you. But the thing... Sorry. The thing is like, because I am so bad at social media, I'm so out of touch with people who watch the show and want to get to know more about me. So I was like, this is perfect.
Oh, I
the fact that
learned.
You're doing a podcast. You're doing everything. You see it?
You're
doing all this, and I just have to show up.
You show up and chit chat. I have all the questions written down, and the people want to hear from you.
Okay.
So let's just dig in. Let's dig in at the top.
Because I'm ready to be honest today.
Okay. So we're going to go in how we met. We have some similarities. So we were both on MTV's The Challenge. The difference is I was on 2 episodes. She just won 2 shows. So we're like kind of alike, but very different. She's actually good at the show. I would like to think that I was good. Unfortunately, it was my partner's fault that we got eliminated.
Who's your partner?
He who shall not be named.
Voldemort.
That's what we're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Voldemort.
Oh, okay.
So for those who live under a rock, I used to date my partner that I met on the challenge.
Okay.
That's kind of how we got connected. So
yeah, do you want to know when we first met and what my impression of you was when we first met? Oh my gosh. So it was, I think Cyrus did some sort of like,
it's like a
party,
premiere party, right?
Premiere party. Yes.
Okay.
And we were at Michael Jackson's
old mansion. Yes.
Old mansion. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I remember meeting you for the first time, and I was just like, oh my gosh, she's
really
so, yes. I'm like, you were so fun. Like,
oh my
God, so
amazing.
And also, like, I have a secret hidden talent. I can just right away from meeting people tell if they're like genuine, if they're good people. Like you, right away, I was like, Morgan's amazing.
And I feel the exact same way about you. Because I will say, out of all the MTV people I met, at the time I was dating Voldemort. So anyone who would come up with me would be like, oh my God, you're so-and-so's girlfriend. That was always the title I had. I was kind of living in their shadow, which at the time I was like, okay, I'll go with the flow, whatever. But no one actually ever wanted, I feel like, to talk to me and actually get to know me.
She's
and you were one of the only ones who came up to me who actually was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to meet you.
Yeah.
And I'm same as you. I picked up on your energy immediately. I was like, because MTV, like, I feel like there's a lot of good apples, but there's also like some crazy cycle bad apples.
Yeah. If you look at the challenge, it's all, people who are on their Real World season, and then it's like the one good or bad apple from the season, and they all get thrown on the challenge, and then it's like the repeating people are the people who continue on. So it's a weird
and even
thing.
The repeating ones, I feel like a lot of people in reality TV get wrapped up in egos, and they think because they're on one show that they're so cool. And you have seemed like you've stayed so grounded.
Yeah.
And you are just,
I wasn't always that way.
Really?
Yes. Back when I did the show before, like, I was in a whole, I'm so happy, by the way, like, so the whole back-to-back championship thing, I'm so happy that I won when I did.
Okay.
Because the woman that I am now is like completely different than when I was in it. Like when it was like, I was all about the flagship show, and I was treating every person I met with like an open heart. Like I was treating everybody like, this could be my friend. This could be the person that I'm trying to date. Like, and I wore my heart on my sleeve. And because of that, because of the nature of the show in general, like I just wasn't in the right place at the right time, you know, and I was young, dude. And so I've been given such like a blessing and such an opportunity, because who knew like that I would come back, and like the show being where it is now, and then come back in my prime, so to say, like feeling like a whole person. It's just, it's a completely different thing, and I'm so happy and so blessed that the timing happened when it did. Yeah,
you're just like a badass, by the way. Like, so for those who are not savvy with MTV, by the way, if you don't watch the show, you're probably
if you don't care,
you're probably a normal, stable, functional adult. But
like,
you know what? I love the fans. There are so many great fans out there. But for those who do not know, so you did 5 seasons of the flagship show?
Yeah. So the main show. So the flagship is like the one that's on MTV that, you go, you dedicate your life to it. It's like
a long
weeks of filming.
Yeah, 10 weeks of filming?
Yeah.
Psycho. So you did that. You took a break. And then you went back for challenge.
I mean, I didn't just take a break. I just was like, I had a really bad experience. I was not a bad experience, just the show. Like every show that I've done out of the 5 seasons, like Battle of the Exes 2 was one of the ones that I just, it took an emotional toll on me, mental toll, and it was terrible. So like, I just wanted to walk away. Like I just was like, okay, screw the challenge. Like,
feel that.
I want to be, I want to be a real person. I want to have a real life job. I want to find the right person. I want to have a family, and all these like good qualities that I'm putting into the show, like I want to put into my own life. So like I walked away, stepped away for 7 years.
Okay, so you stepped away 7 years. You came back. Everyone wants to know what made you come back.
Oh, well, you know, I always say that I'm like the luckiest girl in the world. I really feel like I am truly like the stars.
Lucky girl syndrome. Oh my God.
You know what's so funny is I've seen you post stuff about being a lucky girl. I'm like,
everyone repeat after me. We are lucky and everything is working out in our favor. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
If you say that and repeat it, shit just happens to work out for you.
I say that and I actually like believe it. So it was 2019. It was December.
Okay.
It was New Year's Eve.
Such a random time.
So random, Aleda.
All right, you challenge producers. Go on vacation. Let people have their holidays.
Here's the thing. So Mark had this thing going online. It was like, we want OGs. We want, you know, people that we recognize from the show back in the day to come back and whatever. And so I remember seeing it online. I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't really consider myself, you know, any part of it. Because I was like, you know, whatever. And I got a call, and I remember the exact place I was, what was happening. I was in my mother-in-law's and father-in-law's house and sitting on there's like a fireplace. Anyways. And at the time, you know, COVID had just happened, right?
Okay.
So my husband, he works in sound. He works in the music industry. Hey, Nashville.
Which is why she's in Nashville, because people wanted to know that. Yes. So hubby works in music. That's what brought her here.
So honestly, my husband's from Knoxville, which is like 2 hours from here. His brother went to Belmont, and he went to school for sound engineering, whatever. He started working for this company. So anyways, flash forward, after living in LA and whatever, we decided to come here.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so then you get a phone call from
Aleda, that's where we are. So I get a phone call, and at the time, so because the world shut down, basically, my husband works in sound. We don't know when concerts are going to come back, right?
Okay.
We had just bought our first house that year, so like 6 months prior probably. And him and I are in a situation where we have, you know, Nolly, who is who's young, and then I just had Cal, and we're like, man, we just bought a house. Like, how are we going to pay our mortgage? Like, if you don't have a career, then what are we going to do? And at the same time, they call me, right?
So
and
is
they're
that
like,
what motivated you to go on?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the
like money.
100%. It was the more shows that you do, you know, you do get paid to just be on the show.
Yes.
So they came in with an offer, and I was just like, well, you know, I'm walking through this door. Anytime a door opens, like I'm going to go through it and see what happens. And it was just somebody from my original Real World season, Jasmine, like she was going to be on the show. Something happened to her, and so she couldn't go.
Okay.
And then so they called me. So the casting process, they had asked people, right? They called me as a last minute resort, like, hey, Jasmine just dropped out. Like, is there any way you can come?
Divine timing.
Divine timing. I'm the luckiest girl in the world because I had no business being there. I was.
Well, you did good.
I did great. Good. Yeah. So I was 7 months postpartum. So it was like a week before I left to a week before they called me for the show. Kids are different, right? My daughter, I breastfed her for 16 months. My son, he was like a lazy eater. And so I was just like, all these things, his skin was breaking out, all this stuff. So I was like, I have to try something different. Mm-hmm. So for all the moms out there, I was terrified, but I was going to try formula, right? Mm-hmm. So I just tried it, and he was doing better, right? Had I not tried that, when they called me, I would have been like, no, I'm breastfeeding. Like, that's not even a possibility, you know? So that happened. We were on our way to his best friend my husband's best friend since high school. We were on their way to like celebrate New Year's Eve. We're like, woohoo, we're kid free, you know? Yeah. And got the call, and they're like, do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, I went.
So that season you went, you got third on your first season back, which is wild to me. So you're 7 months postpartum. How did you prepare for it? You just showed up. You just showed up.
They're like, hey, 2 weeks before, like, just show up. But you have to understand too, this is All Stars. So like if you watch All Stars 1, it's like, you know, you have Tech in there. He's like saying like, oh, this is the geriatric challenge. Everybody's falling apart. So I was in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
And I got reintroduced into something that was such a huge part of my life before, right? Got reintroduced to it. And then, And then, so making it to the final, that's the first time I've ever made a final. I went, and then I tasted the fact that like, oh my gosh, this is possible. Who knows where this show is going?
Okay.
I want to make sure, like, if this is even an opportunity again, like I want to walk through the door if it's there, if it opens. And so I came back from the show. I got third place, first for the women. So technically, some
I have a
people
follow-up
think,
question with that one.
Yeah.
So you got third place, but you were the first place winner of the females. Normally they do like one female winner, one male winner. Are you like a little jaded?
No. So the person that I tied with, Kellyanne, she was more so, like, hey, I'm going to give this my all, because if there is a first place for females, I'm like, they told us at the beginning, like, there's no first place. But, TJ does whatever, and sometimes he surprises us, right? So I get to the end, and I'm just like, okay, if there's a chance that, I do well in this, and if they keep doing All-Stars, like, there's a chance that, like, I can win a show. And then I came back. Literally, I gave myself, like, 2 days. Came back, and I was like, listen, I'm going to start working out. I don't even know if there's going to be more shows. I don't know what's going to happen. But if there's the possibility, I want to be the best prepared that I can. And
plot freaking twist.
Right. Worst case scenario, I lose the mommy weight and I get back in shape and I feel good about myself. Best case scenario,
I freaking win $250,000. And then you did.
Again.
Okay, so I'm shook. So you won back-to-back seasons.
Yep.
So what?
Yep.
All-Stars 2 and All-Stars 3.
Yep.
So you have a total of $500K, which is
By the way, we have to shout out Nehemiah for the 500K Jonna, because he came up with that name and it rhymes. And I've done all these things to, like, I'm like, well, what if I win more money? And it just doesn't flow.
No.
So,
but like 750K, Janae, that works.
The K still works.
The
yes.
K, as long as we keep the K.
I was always thinking, like, what happens if I win $1 million?
1.5K, Janae.
Oh, there we go.
As long as we
add
keep
a 5 at the end.
As long as we keep the K, we're fine.
Yep.
Shout out to the name. The first time I think someone DM'd me that name, I died laughing. I then was like, I have to call her this. I'm changing the name in my phone, everything. That is your name. So walk me through the moment when, because like it's wild. So you did all these shows in your first 5 years, never made a final.
Yep.
Then you made the final on All-Stars 1.
And then I was in the right place, right time to be on All-Stars 1.
All-Stars
wasn't even supposed to be there.
All-Stars 2, you're in the final. Walk me through the moment when you realized you won the show for the first time. You won $250,000.
Well, so I was listening to the song on the way here. It's a Rihanna song. It's Pour It Up.
Oh.
So in the final, I was running to the end, and that song I was playing in my head because I don't know, I love Rihanna.
Stop. That's the song that was motivating you to get to the final?
No.
Oh.
That's the song that was playing in my head when it happened. But like, so I played this whole like second season, right? And basically died in the final. And there was a moment when I was running on the airway, that's what I was saying, that I was like, honestly, because it was like death, and not death, but just like,
no, it is
death.
death.
I was dying after 2 days. I had eaten weird stuff. I had myself to the limit.
What was the weirdest thing you ate?
Let's see. I think it's like the intestines stuff for me, because like
Disgusting.
the outside, it's like, I don't know if it's like a casing or what, but also too, like they just boiled it so that it was like,
oh my God, I want
safe for human consumption, but like then it was cold. So like if you boil something, you like want it to be warm, and you can, no.
People who go on this show willingly are sociopaths. I would like to say that,
me.
but I love you, dear. I love you dearly. And
Hey.
anyway, so you're running, you're singing Rihanna in your head.
Yep. And I'm like, man,
This is it.
Yeah, I get on a plane and...
Did you cry?
I did. I cried. Listen, I cried when I watched it. I cried when it happened. I cried when it, while it was happening, after it happened, when I came home and I knew it had already happened. And then also too, like once the show aired, the outpouring of messages that I got and the amount of people and moms and women that were like, listen, I cried when you crossed the finish line. I'm like, me too, girl.
Same. I mean, but I think it's so much more than just a win. I think it shows women out there that you can be a mom. You can have a family. You don't have to put your life on hold just because you have children. Like you can still show up, be a badass, live your life. And I think you won back to freaking back. Yeah. Like that's insane.
I know. Like I said, I'm like the luckiest girl in the world. The reason why I went back to back is, I went to, I then, so won All-Stars 2, there was, because of, showbiz, production, whatever, I had literally like a month home with the family and then went back. Nobody on the next show saw what I did. And I already knew that it was possible. And so I still was just myself and just the way that I was, which for the first time in my life, like being in something, being a good person and being able to create relationships, all the stuff like benefited me for the first time in my life, and nobody had seen that. And it's not that I didn't use that to accomplish, winning the second time. It's just, that's what naturally came to me. And I was lucky and I was in the right place at the right time. And luckily nobody had seen what happened. I came in and then fought through that show and made it to the end, came out on top. And I mean, like I said, I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
You're also you are walking proof that good things happen to good people.
Yes.
Because I feel like, especially with MTV or reality TV in general, oftentimes it's the
villain.
It's the villain. It's whoever's the most toxic, whoever causes the most problems. Like, they often are rewarded with more shows, more opportunities.
Yep.
The nice guy always finishes last, it seems like. And I love the fact that you stay true to who you are. You're a good, genuine person. And look, it paid off. I'm like, doing it for the good people out there. If I will not go. I'm not gonna go back. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
I'd never say never. Listen,
never say never.
Darrell told me this. He's like, never say you're retired. And I'm like, listen, okay, Darrell, I have one show left in me. Like, I am, after the one, I want to go on one more, just because I'm like one of those weird people. I like odd numbers more than
you got to win one more time.
One more time. I got to go for the hat trick.
Yeah.
I got to go.
You got to go for 3.
3 wins, be tied with the female that has the most wins, Veronica.
You have to.
Like, and then I want to be out and be like, listen, I love my life.
Right.
Here in Nashville. Like, I am so lucky. Like, some days I wake up and I'm just like, this is crazy. This is everything that I've prayed for, everything that I've dreamed of. Like, if you would have known me, Jonna 1.0, like, didn't look like I would ever be here. Right. And then I got there through the grace of God. I arrived here. And now everything is happening the way that it should. And
right. And see, that's how I feel. So everyone's like, are you going back on the challenge? Go back. We want to see you win. But I tell anyone who wants to go on TV, I'm like, do you like your life? Do you like how it is now? And if you say yes, then don't go on TV, because 2 things can happen. You might win $1 million, or your mental health is going to suffer. You never know how it's going to play out. So little tea fact is the challenge actually, I was telling you at lunch a couple weeks ago.
The crazy thing is I was gone. I was,
Yes.
I don't know what I was filming. I don't know.
It's filming something.
Something. I was just on vacation. Anyways, I came back and you said that
I know.
You got called, which is so funny because before I left, I don't know. We had just talked about that. Like, I think I maybe asked you.
I was like, never. Well, it's funny. So I'm sitting on this chair in the corner of my living room. I'm like, filming annoying stories, doing like whatever influencer thing that I'm doing. And I get a call from a random number and I answer it. And they're like, hey, this is so-and-so from the challenge. I'm not kidding. I bust out laughing. And they're like, what? And I literally was like, is this a joke right now? And they're like, no, like, we wanted to see your availability.
Like, waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out. And you're like,
I was start laughing. And I was like, oh my God, are you new here? With some girl I didn't recognize. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, obviously you don't know the backstory. I've talked pretty openly about not being the biggest fan. I was like, did you know who I dated, etc. I had choice words to say to this producer. I'm also going to be in Bali, and I was not about to cancel that trip when it filmed. Yeah. But for me, I don't know if it's worth my mental health declining. And I asked him too. I was like, is this for exes? Because I'm not about to have you subject me against someone else.
Yeah. Because listen, like, when I was on Battle of the Exes, like I said, it was a crossroad. It was like a weird changing point in my life that, like, looking back, like, I'm glad I am where I am now, but like, looking back, like, that was the moment that I was already not in a good mental place going into that show. And it was detrimental. And that's when I ended, I always had it in me. I always had it to be a winner and go out, but that just took such a toll on me.
And I would love to go compete. I would absolutely love to do that. And for the fans out there, it's not that I don't want to do that. Yeah. I'd have to be paid quite a bit to justify leaving my job.
Which now. The problem with it is like
when you start off, they pay you nothing.
Yeah, at the beginning, because you have the goal of
winning the million. But for me to leave, I would end up losing money going on the show. 2, I'm in such a good place now. Like, I've done therapy. I'm happy. I'm healthy. Why would I go and have my mental health suffer? And then I had choice words to say. And, like, this is my own podcast, so I'm allowed to say whatever I want.
Sure.
But I even told the producers, and I think her jaw probably dropped. I was like, look, you're going to pit me against someone. I don't support the narrative that MTV, and I know you guys might be friends, but I do feel like they...
Who, me and Johnny or me and MTV?
Or you and Voldemort?
To
wrap that up, essentially, they called me. I had choice words to say because I think that they are always going to push a certain narrative of someone and protect them, and I get it.
Maybe they were looking out for you, though. Like,
maybe they were.
Because this season, from what I've heard.
Right. Someone might not be on there, but... I don't know. For me,
No, listen, Morgan, I like, as your friend, and it's weird because it's like I'm biased because I'm on the show, but like as your friend and as a person, I'm just like, what you're doing is great.
Oh, thank you.
The right time, the right opportunity. I walked through the door because it was literally a great opportunity to put myself in a position like where we would be comfortably cushioned for a little bit.
Right.
And that's what I had to do for my family. And,
right. You did it for your family. I'm over here like,
well,
why do I need to do it?
took off and ran with that, but your life right now.
I know. Everyone is like, go on. It'll help you with like followers. I'm like, girl, I can market myself.
And you have...
I can market myself. I'm doing A-okay.
I'm sitting here like... Teach me your ways.
Unless they want to pay me Yoda. 6 figures, I'm Gucci for now.
Right.
But okay, so I've got a billion and one listener questions. So I'm gonna rapid fire these at you. Just the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Spit it out. All right, here we go. Fuck, marry, kill. Devin West Durrell. Ooh.
Fuck Durrell. Marry West. Kill Devin.
It's exactly what I would have said.
No,
okay.
really?
Okay. Messiest person on the challenge.
Ooh. I mean, after the last season that I did, I feel like it might be me.
Really?
I mean, I'm not messy. I just was like, I got my back-to-back championships. So
you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. Messy. Define messy.
Like whoever starts the most drama. Whoever is
Amanda.
Okay. Yep. Messiest.
Garcia. Yeah.
Okay. How did you mentally prepare to go back and live in the house or with a bunch of psychos, as I would like to say?
In the insane asylum.
How did you mentally prepare? Top thing.
Going to the show before and like mentally preparing now, like I don't even have time to mentally prepare because it's like I'm trying to prepare my kids' lives for when I'm gone. So like I show up and I just show up. I'm just there. Like
so so you're just like really good at dealing with people.
Okay. Yeah.
Hardest moment for you in all of your challenge history. Top hardest.
Battle of the Exes 2. That's the reason why I quit.
Just the whole entire season.
Yeah. The whole season.
Which leads me to my next question. Was Zach really as rude to you as shown on the challenge back in the day?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I was a whole different person back then. And like, that's what I'm saying about growing from the person I was before to the person that I am now. I am a whole person now. Back then I was not. I was living through life, floating, like drinking, thinking these people are my friends, party. Like I wasn't who I am, the woman that I am today, Okay. So that being said, he was as rude. I remember this conversation. We walked through the airport after we had gotten eliminated, and I was worried because I was just like, Zach, like, you're going to look bad. And he's like, what did you say? Like, what did you do? What do you mean? And I'm like,
of course, the blame is on you.
I was like, were you there? Like, did you... And he was like that, like delusional of like what happened. Because the crazy thing about the show is when you're there, you're just living and all this stuff. But like I was there and I was present for it. And I was just like, you really have no idea how toxic of a situation this is.
Right.
Like for both of us.
I'm going to have to go back and watch because I don't know the extent of that. All I know is I had to live in the house with Zach in my 2 short weeks that I was there. I don't have kind things to say about him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people who don't, and like, I don't have not kind things to say about him. I know that like, and maybe it's because it's like looking in the mirror, for me, and witnessing my own life and looking at my own faults and realizing that I am not a whole person until I met Kevin, until I became myself, like all that stuff, like. I can't judge anybody where they were and whatever, because if I look back at myself and judge myself, whatever. But all I have to say about him is like, I hope he's so happy now. And I know he is. Like, Jenna's fucking great.
Jenna's beautiful,
She's
amazing.
beautiful. She's great. And I mean, obviously I cared about him when we were together, and we just both weren't in like that place.
Yeah, you were young.
Yeah, he was terrible. And the crazy thing about subjecting yourself to reality television is it's like you put it all out there and what you're living gets shown to millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so all I have to say is that shit sucks. Sorry. I'm swearing.
Curse away.
All I have to say is like that sucks. So yeah, you guys, we're also on a show where they show things based on, you know, creating drama, whatever. So did it look worse than it was? Maybe. Did it not? Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not discounting what happened, but all I'm saying is like, here we are, like 10 years later, and I am now back-to-back champion.
And that's all that matters. All I know is
like,
when
you
I
know,
was in the house,
I hope and pray that he is so happy, and I know he is, which is good. Deep down, he's a good person. Hopefully. I don't know.
All I know is when I was covered in mud and almost drowned in a mud pit on that challenge and I needed to shower, he was like, "What are you doing in our room?" Like essentially was like, "You can't shower." Yeah. So yeah, that was my impression of him.
So let's hope he's grown.
Well, let's hope he's grown. Okay, wow, this was a bold one. What's your opinion on Johnny Bananas?
Oh, well, Johnny Bananas, he's weird for me. He's a weird one. So yeah, actually telling I shouldn't think about that. But so personally, back in the day, not being the whole person I was, whatever, my experience with him was different than it is now. And all I can say is I like to meet people where they are and the person they are today.
Okay.
In recent times that I've been around Johnny, he has been nicer, and I don't know if it's a genuine like, you know,
it's not.
He needs me in the show or he's grown as a person. So
he needs you in the show. I
would like to think, you know, that it is what it is.
Okay.
We left. I left and I knew I wasn't going to change my fate, my game, whatever happens based off of me wanting anything to do with him or prove anything to him because, you know, because of friends, because of experience, like I've been there and whatever. So I will say I left and when I did, something was brought to me and they're like, "Oh, well, we got to do this to save Johnny." And I was just like, why would I change anything about what's happening in my game currently to help someone who in the last however many games we've been together or been in a show, like, who cares?
Right.
Like, he's honestly responsible for, you know, out of the 5 shows I did, the 4 that I made it to almost the end, he had some part of me not making it to the end. So, like, I mean, I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing currently to,
Good
you know,
for
whatever.
you.
So, Johnny, you know, I think he is, I mean, he made a name for himself on the show, did whatever, but him and I, we're not close. We're not far apart. I don't know.
Makes sense. Did you see the clip of him botching or, like, forgetting her name, but the Survivor girl calling him out?
No.
Oh my God, I'm going to send it to you. I just want to, shout out her. She literally was like, "You're gaslighting me, dude." And I'm going to send you the clip because.
Calling him out on the show.
Yes, on the show.
Yeah.
And they actually aired it. I'm like,
gaslighting.
For once, MTV, thank you. But yeah, she's a badass. And
he is a master of that. He is, I mean, the
girl,
crazy.
3 years of that.
I don't even tell you
me,
anything.
I know.
But the double-edged sword of being on this show, like you have to realize when you go on the show, and I think it's the same with like Survivor or Big Brother or whatever, for instance, like in order to be good at the show, you have to be a bad person. I think Jordan Wisely told me that. He's like, someone like you will never be good at politics because you're a good person. Right. You have to separate your heart and who you are from whatever's happening on this television show.
Right.
And in order to be successful, you know, and I took that to heart. And I feel like that applies to so many things. Like you have to be able to separate the two. But after doing so many seasons, so many things, like I don't know if you can.
I think the issue is when you do it for so long, that personality for a lot of people blurs together. And I think that's the hard part is, you can be a bad person on the show, but if that bleeds into your real life, like that's what people can't separate. And that was the scary thing about reality TV for me. It's like, I like my life. I like my morals. I like my values. Yep. I don't want to throw that all away to go on TV. Yeah. I don't feel like I need to, but okay, good answer. Best partner ever, worst partner ever.
Okay. Best partner ever, worst partner. Sorry, Zach. I mean, I'm not sorry, but Zach was the worst partner for me.
Okay.
Very toxic. Best partner ever. I'm going to have to say between MJ and between Grant.
Okay.
Grant was the best partner for me in the sense that, like, he did not give a fuck. Like, he gave 0 fucks. He's like, fuck Johnny Bananas, fuck Wes, fuck all these people, vets here. Like, I'm comfortable in arenas, like whatever. And I was just like, wait, let's reel it back. This game is social.
hold.
You give 0 fucks, I give all the fucks. Like, we need to meet in the middle. So like, but you know, had the world championship continued on as it had, I really do think we would have had a very good chance, right? MJ was also a very good partner for me.
Okay.
Like, he was very what I needed at the time to accomplish the goal, you know, and that's the strength and the not being afraid of what other people think. Because for me, I care about what other people think. I care about everyone so much. I need someone who's like, who cares about these people? We're playing a game, you know? So both of them, I would say it's a tie between the two.
Ooh, okay. What's your relationship with Kellyanne after World Champs?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's awkward. I'm not going to lie. Kellyanne is one of those people that, so when I lived in LA, we were close. Like, she's met my kids, and she is someone who, when I look at, you know, oh, who's going to show, or when I show up and I'm like, oh, all these people are here. Kellyanne is one of my favorite people because she's so crazy and she's so out there and she's so genuine that I just love being around her, right? So I think that the World Championship really did hurt our friendship because there's two different approaches. There's, you know, the approach that she has, and I will say, when I did the show before, that's the same approach I had. These are the real people. This is my real life. This is what's happening. She's ever present, which is good human quality, right? But in a show that's that cutthroat, everybody's competing for the same thing, whatever, it's a bad thing, you know? And for me, after winning back-to-back, I was able to see the difference. I was able to see, this is reality television. This is my real life. Kellyanne is someone who I want to have in my real life, you know? And on the show, just everything that was happening, I'm clocked in for, you know, 6 weeks, and I'm taking time away from my family. All I have is to win. Whatever it takes with any of the other 23 people here, I have to do what I have to do to win, you know? And so in the World Championship, that's what I did. I played to win. And the problem is when you do cross the lines of these are real people, real friends, you know, she did end up getting hurt, you know, but you know, the thing is she made it further than I did. Karma had its way. Everything happened the way that it was supposed to. And where we are today, like,
what was the last thing you said to her?
I called her right before I went to USA too. And it was good. It was amicable. It was we might be friends. We also might
not be friends,
be rivals. I don't know.
All right.
On the show, please cast. Here's the thing. My ultimate goal is to have her as my Rivals 4 partner.
Oh,
so.
Okay. Plant the seeds. You heard it on this podcast.
If we are. Yeah.
Speaking of family, kids, everything, are you going to let your kids watch your shows?
Yeah, if they want to. Yeah.
Hell
That was the thing for me with, you know, season 3 of All Stars. Like, I was like, my kids are going to watch this, you know? So Nolly, it's so funny because, you know, obviously I leave for, you know, 30 to 40 days. And for her, the first time around, she watched every episode of All Stars 1. All Stars 2, she's like, yeah, this is cool. Like, whatever.
Mom, I don't care.
Mom, I don't care. You're jumping out of a helicopter. I don't care about the challenge, you know, so.
That's amazing.
She's funny.
Okay.
Yes, I will let them watch it. And when they do, like, I'm going to be right there.
Would you ever let them go on MTV?
Ooh. That's a rough one.
Like, if they woke up and they're 21, they're like, Mom, I really want to be on the challenge.
Hey, the challenge just called me. They want to do the challenge legacy. And I would let her go.
Okay.
Because the crazy thing is, with all the ups and downs, the good things and the bad things that it's brought, I would say overall the challenge has brought the best things in my life, you know, of, you know, getting to travel the world, getting to meet new people, getting to experience things I would never experience. So if that's something that Nolly looked at me and she's like, I want to do this, Mom, anything that she's like, Mom, I think I want to do this. I'm going to be the first person right there with her.
I love
that. That's
the
thing is, like, when I did it before, when I was on the show, like, I did not have me or the mom being there with her.
I'm sure it changes the game.
So, yeah, having the support and everything, like, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, go kill it.
Speaking of that, what's the difference between the challenge now, competing? How different is it in this current state? Now there's like 18 million franchises, different shows. How's it different now versus when you did it way back when?
So when I did it way back when, it was different. And then, so now I think that they're like branching out and it's like globalized and all this stuff. I'm here for it because I'm here for like, you know, bringing people from all over the world, the competition. To be honest with you, I love the thrill of all of it. It's so cool. It was such a big part of my life in the past, and it is current. It's so cool to be able to revisit it at this place of my life. So
okay, a couple more questions. We're gonna wrap up. Did you go to? We never touched on this, but you were on a show called Endurance. At the age of 13, you won. People want to know: did you go to the Amazon? Like you won a trip to the Amazon? You actually went?
Absolutely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So,
do you have photos of it? Will you send me?
I do. I have
a
a whole scrapbook, and I cannot wait to show you it.
Oh my God.
So it's so funny because people are like, "Oh, did you win money?" I'm like, "No, I won a trip to Peru." When I was 14, I went to Peru on my trip, and it was amazing.
Oh my God.
My mom was terrified of. She looked at the list of like immunizations. She's like, "Absolutely not."
But you went.
But yeah, my sister, who's 14 years older than me, was like, I'll go.
We've been going to Peru.
Yeah. Met so many cool people. And it was one of the early experiences that opened my eyes to, it was my first time out of the country.
Wow.
All of that. And I got to experience that at 14.
I mean, and you really are the OG of reality. I don't know anyone else who's been on a reality show at the age of 13. So you wear that title proudly. Okay. So we're going to wrap up Challenge Talk because we just went on a tangent.
Yes,
I could talk to you
always is
all day long about the challenge, about your experience. People freaking love you. You're most improved, MVP, queen, badass, whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about dating icks because I realized this as I was going through my text last night trying to figure out what I want to talk to you. And this guy asked me, and he texted me, and he's actually a country music. I'll have to tell you after this podcast. He's a country music artist in Nashville. We were like chatting, and I could tell he's kind of like an F-boy. And he texted me and was like, "What are you wearing?" The biggest ick. I literally did not respond. I deleted the whole entire text thread. It was just nothing will give me the ick more. I am not going to waste my time to go snap a mirror picture. If you want to get off to a picture of me, go look on my Instagram. There's plenty. So that gave me the biggest ick. What is your biggest ick with your husband?
What?
Does he give you any icks?
Biggest ick? He doesn't text me, what am I wearing?
Well, they're good, so he doesn't give you an ick. But is there anything he does that you're just like, oh my God, disgusting?
No.
Wow,
no.
True love. What's it like to be in love? Is it nice?
It is. He's, God, on the way here, I was thinking, I mean, he's the most supportive, like, person. And what's the craziest thing is like, our love, like, is so weird because what I thought was true love, like, when you meet somebody, whatever, is nowhere near what I thought.
Okay.
What it currently is, because I'm literally married to my best friend. So I guess for me, my biggest ick would be like,
does he leave like his toenail clippings anywhere? Like his beard hair?
I'm the one that leaves the hair and the toenail clippings. I'm the one that.
So your husband's just a perfect angel baby. What's it like? We love him.
Yes. I mean, let's be real, Morgan. Like, he does the dishes. He does the laundry. Like, he is every part of me.
Does he have a brother who's single?
No, he has a brother who lives in East Nashville. She's
Damn it.
Married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darn. All right. Well, so I collected on my Instagram. I do Q&As where people give me the icks, and they are hysterical. So I'm going to read some of them. We're just going to say icky or not. Literally. Okay. We're going to.
Yeah.
Because people are crazy with their icks. Overusing let's go like a frat boy. Ick or no?
That's an ick for me.
Yeah, ick for sure.
Yep.
Men afraid of roller coasters. If a 6-year-old can ride it fearlessly, my man's got to do it too.
Yeah.
See, that's not an ick for me.
That's an ick. I mean, a roller coaster?
Some people are scared of heights.
I'm a thrill seeker, though.
Okay.
You know, so I'm one that's like the challenge, for instance. I'm like, yes. Like, so people get stressed out and anxiety when it's like that crane right there where I'm like, listen, we have a whole stunt team here who's going to keep me safe. Everything's fine. We're very different, though. Like, we're very opposite and like that kind of thing.
What about men drinking frappuccinos with whipped cream on their lips? What? Mm-hmm. That's so specific.
No.
Yeah, I think that would give me the ick. I don't want to see whipped cream all over your mustache. Gross.
I mean, I was saying I wouldn't mind.
Oh. Yeah, you could.
Well, mustache, if it was on the mustache.
You could just
the whipped cream is the ick for me.
Yeah, yeah. Don't get whipped. If you're a man,
the coffee, great.
Do not get whipped cream on your drink. Okay, no, that's icky. The star on the outside of the elbow. Think Pauly D from Jersey Shore. That's a huge ick. I don't want to see a star on your elbow.
No.
Okay.
I love stars, though, actually, Morgan. I literally have 18.
But would you want your husband to have a big old tattoo?
I mean, my husband has 0 tattoos, and I have 13, and I have 18 stars as one of the 13.
Okay, well, opposites attract.
Yeah.
Bad spelling or text talk from guys saying, like, HBU is how about you? Oh, that's a big ick for me.
That's an ick for me because, yeah.
As you all know, sweet
I'm
baby
the person.
Angel, my neighbor, which you have to listen to the first episode. I had a romantic, passionate kiss with him. He spells later with an H.
Oh, your neighbor?
Yeah.
Oh, is he like 24?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
that
yes,
one.
I know
That
that
one.
one.
Yeah, the baby. Man buns. I love them.
Yeah, do you?
I think that is so not icky. Do you like
Yeah, no, I do. I like long
Okay.
hair. I'm a long hair gal.
Ooh, when a guy has long fingernails with dirt under them.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely it.
That's an ick for any
100%.
human. Girls, guys, clean your nails.
Nope.
When people eat tortilla chips and take the tiniest bite of the corner, showing all their teeth, and then they chew it. Who writes that? I've never
that was a
noticed
thing.
someone biting a tortilla chip.
I don't even know what the issue is. What's the
I guess
tortilla chip?
like when you like take a chip and some people like bite it
Yeah.
gingerly. I don't think that's an ick for me, but
I mean, if they have nice teeth. You know.
what about men who play too many video games? That's not an ick for me. I actually don't care if you play.
No, my husband thinks that people who play video games are nerds, but I mean, I wouldn't care if you play video
What
games.
about smelling someone's gum? Who?
Gums like this gums or
Oh,
gum that
I don't
you
know.
chew?
What do we think? I was thinking like you take out a piece of chewing gum and someone sniffs it, but maybe
Ew.
people sniff like someone's
Their own
gums.
Yeah, ick. I don't know what that is.
For sure. Guys who wear those stupid Bluetooth phones in their ear, like a headpiece. That doesn't bother me.
Like AirPods?
No, I think like a Bluetooth like headset.
Oh, yeah, that bothers me.
Okay, that's
Because where did you get that?
True.
Is it Motorola?
Is it Motorola? My ex-boyfriend used to pull his toenails off instead of using clippers, and it pissed me off.
Yep.
That's vile.
Pisses me off too.
This person said when guys ask, "What are you wearing?" Yeah, so I'm not the only one who thinks that's an ick. What about unsolicited dick pics, especially when you're at work?
Yeah, if you didn't ask for it. I mean,
That's
I
an
might like
ick.
it. I might be like, oh, surprise, yay.
Oh, really? I don't want to see an unwarranted
My husband
penis.
has never taken a dick pic.
I don't want to see a
Ever.
penis on my phone ever. Sports fans who wear their jerseys like out in public, that doesn't bother me.
No, they love their team. I mean,
What about guys who find a way to bring up CrossFit or crypto? I don't mind a CrossFitter.
crypto, I mean, might be, what do you mean find a way to bring up?
Like they bring it up in conversation. They're like, yeah,
CrossFit's okay.
CrossFit. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't want crypto. Don't sell me any Bitcoin, please.
Do you have any Bitcoins?
I think I did buy one back in the day. I don't know. I can't keep track.
Listen,
I spent $80
I can't even keep
and
track
lost
of
it.
I can't keep track of the internet.
What about a man who sits when he pees?
Oh.
That is a big ick.
You know what's so funny is like my son is 2, almost 3. We're in the potty training stage. I don't know how to teach him how to potty train. Like, what do you do?
I don't know. I can barely take care of myself. So, like, couldn't tell you how to raise a whole ass child.
I need to ask you about their lot because she had 2 boys, but like, I don't even know what to do. Like my daughter, I know what to do, but
Have fun with that one.
yeah. But if an actual whole man,
A
sat
whole
and
grown ass
peed,
man sitting down.
I don't know about that.
I know you got to stand. Sorry, guys. Well, we got to bear children. You got to stand when you pee, okay?
Yep.
When a guy is chewing his food and takes a sip of his drink mid chew, what? That's
Who are these people?
this is my random Instagram followers.
You
These
said
are their
let me know
icks.
your icks.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about? I don't think that's icky. Nail polish and dangle earrings, aka Tom Sandoval, aka disgusting.
You were just telling me about this. I need to get into that.
You do. Do you like a man with nail polish?
Nail polishes is a hard one for me. No.
What about when a man
No
gets
nail paint, no nail polish, whatever you want to call it.
when
no.
a man gets yelled at in public?
By who?
Just
Yelling
like
at him.
just anyone.
Like his. I mean.
I don't like that. I don't want my man being yelled at. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
When a man's feet dangles when they're sitting in a bar stool.
Yeah. I don't like that.
I mean, come
It's an
on.
ick
What
for
about
me.
the short kings?
Yeah.
That is kind of an ick. Men who
No.
don't drink beer, that doesn't bother me.
I mean, as long as if they don't drink at all, like that's.
But what if they do drink? Like I drink, but I don't like
Yeah,
beer.
who cares?
Okay, yeah, that's not icky. When a guy has his last name on a jersey at a professional sporting event, ick. No, sir.
Like his own last name.
His own last name,
No.
like a personalized ass jersey.
Nope.
No, that's weird. People who clap when the plane lands. I'm sorry, I cannot get behind that. I've never understood it. I think it's so
Like,
weird.
I'm so happy I'm here.
I'm like, why?
Yeah, no.
That's an ick for me. That is it, Janae. Thank you so much for stopping by to chat with me. I love you dearly. I could sit on this couch right now and talk for the rest of the day. But for the people out there, where can they find you on social media?
So my Instagram is at Jonna Mannion.
I always say your
Say
name
my
wrong.
name.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Janae.
It's like John.
Janae.
Jonna.
Janae. Janae.
Yeah.
Okay.
So JONNA.
Okay.
MANNION. And then, but I'm you're going to help me
Yes.
use it better. And then I think my Twitter is Jonna MTV, but I don't tweet. So
Okay.
don't
So
even,
just hit her on
disregard
Instagram.
that.
We're going to have social media lessons. She's about to be slaying the
That's
Instagram
why
game.
I want to be friends with her.
And I love you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yay. And guys, I'll see everyone next week. Thanks so much for listening to the Your Internet Best Friend podcast. It's been real. It's been fun. And I will see everyone here next week. In the meantime, do all the podcast things. Like, subscribe, give me a 5-star review if you please. And catch up with me on social media at Morgan Lee Willette. Bye, besties.